Hello and welcome to Tarot with Shannon. Today is a very special reading because it's my first ever collaboration, and I'm doing it with someone who I have been a huge fan of for quite some time. So this is like very exciting for me, and I'm very honored to have had him ask me to do this tarot collaboration. It is Vineet from Tarot Yogi, and I highly recommend that you follow him. Go to his channel and follow him. His readings are accurate, but they're also have depth to them, and that's what I really look for in a tarot reader, someone who's able to deliver the message in a very clear way with deep depth and meaning. And he's a yogi in real life, so he has that calm demeanor about him, and he's a great tarot reader. I absolutely adore him, so you should definitely follow him. Now we are going to be doing messages from owls, so I'm going to be doing a message from the barred owl, and he is going to be doing a message from the barn owl. So I'm going to go into the barred owl and the spiritual meaning behind them. First, I want to talk to you about how this connection even came about. I've been watching his readings for some time, and one of his readings, he talked at the very end, a message from the owl. I've been visited by barred owls for the past 2 years frequently. I have never heard or seen from owls ever in my entire life. That's not true. In my 20s, I saw a snowy white owl fly over my head once, but that's it. The only time I've ever seen or heard from owls is on TV or something like that. But anyway, he put up the end of his reading that the message was from the owl, and I had the barred owl visit me just the night before, and so it was very synchronistic. And then I went over his Instagram, and he had posted a picture from an owl from where he was, and I'm like, this is so synchronistic, because I've been visited by these barred owls, and I just, you mentioned about owls, and then we decided to do a collaboration on YouTube for this tarot reading. So that's how we've come together. For me, it's definitely a very spiritual connection with the barred owl. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the barred owl and what the spiritual meaning is for them. So they have stripes down their bellies, and this is where they get the name barred owls. Not barred as in like jail. It's meant to bring a message of protection. So when the barred owl visits you, as it has for me several times over the past couple of years, they bring a message of protection. But they also bring messages from other realms. They have dark eyes, and these dark eyes are meant to see into other realms. So, it could be from a source energy, from literally other realms, dimensions, your imagination, whatever resonates with you. So this is what the owl does. This barred owl brings you a message of protection and how to walk in your spiritual journey, and walk your creative path and the path of transformation, and what kind of protection that you get along the way. So the barred owl has a very unique hoot. It sounds like doo 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 ooh, and it almost sounds like laughter. So it also brings a message of laughter and how to bring more laughter into your life and in your relations with other people. So this is the barred owl. This is what the reading I'm going to be focusing on, and go over and check out Tarot Yogi, Vineet from Tarot Yogi, and his interpretation for a message of the barn owl. And I'm going to put all of the links down in the description. And so for you have 3 piles to choose from. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So you can pause the video and take as much time as you need to see which pile draws you in. You may want to choose more than one piles if more than one pile or group calls to you. So take a moment, and I will see you at your reading. Hello, group 1, and welcome to your reading. This reading is a message from the barred owl. This is a collab that I'm doing with Vineet from Tarot Yogi. He's going to be doing messages from the barn owl. Please do go check that out. He is an incredibly talented tarot reader. He's one of my favorite ones here on YouTube, if not my favorite one. I've been a fan of his channel for quite some time, so do subscribe to him. You will not be disappointed. He's amazing. So in this reading, I'm going to be doing messages from the barred owl. Go back to the introduction, because that's where I talk about the spiritual meaning behind barred owls and what messages they bring you. But the overall meaning for barred owl is the message of protection and boundaries and how you can bring forth your transformation, your spiritual journey. So I'm going to be doing a pretty in-depth reading. I have like 9, I think, oracle cards that I'm going to be referring to as well here. And so you've chosen the Fairy Tarot because you are light-hearted spirits and you like to be guided. You like things to be, you like a good story. You probably read a lot, probably love the romanticities. You don't have to, of course. It's just that vibe, you know, like romantics. And, you know, you love fantasy, probably. You know, you don't like things, you don't like to go too dark. You like to, not that you're not deep, you're definitely deep. But you're definitely lighthearted spirits, I want to say. All right, so we're going to do a spread that is designed, that I designed specifically for a message from the Barred Owl. The first card, I'm going to pull them out one by one. So the first card we're going to do is the Cosmic Connection. Your creative potential, your spiritual journey, and how to harness this for your personal growth. Oh, look what came out. The High Priestess. Trusting your intuition. Careful reflection before taking action. Insights that come through meditation. All right. You get messages from spirit, from your higher self, through meditation, through your intuition. You're very intuitive, highly intuitive. And she has a book in this. And I felt very strongly that this is a group that loves stories, reading. And you probably are inspired through stories and reading and fairy tales and folklore and things like that. Maybe you even write it yourself. But your inspiration, your ideas, your creative juices come from intuition. You are very much led by your intuition. Very much so. I feel like that. You might call it feeling like you're being led from the heart, but truly it's being led from something greater than yourself. And the more you go into a deep meditative place, the more you connect to your higher self, the more you will get feedback straight from source, because you are definitely connected to source, to your higher self. And what I really strongly feel from you is that you might even have like explosive visions in your mind sometimes. I get the sense that you might have intense dreams. You're somebody who probably has a really intense dreams, and you've had, especially when you were younger. You might keep dream journals because they're so intense. You're very strongly intuitively guided. You just trust your gut. You've always been this way, and I think that you've always had a psychic connection. Some of you are probably tarot readers or drawn to tarot. That's why you're watching this. But I mean, you probably actually read tarot yourself or oracle cards. You probably somebody who watches a lot of different tarot readings. You are very much led by your psychic abilities, and you are a psychic group. You're very psychic. And this is where you draw your inspiration from. This is your creative potential. This is how you will grow. Okay, so the next card we're going to pull is going to be how you access other realms, your spiritual gifts, your specific spiritual gifts. So, okay, we have here the Lovers. You know, I said that you were into romanticities, fantasy books, maybe the romantics. True love that is long-lasting, choices made from the heart, a return to good health. Okay. So you are somebody, this is why I think what I said you read books and fantasies and folklore and stuff, because it draws you in, because you love a good love story. You're very much into the love story. Maybe you have a good love story yourself. But love is something that fuels you. You're good at giving love and you're good at receiving love. And that's important. Not a lot of people are. It's especially receiving love. Some people have a really hard time receiving love. You absorb it into your being, and then you are able, it's how you get your psychic abilities, is through the love that you feel from other people. And even if you don't have, and I'm not talking about just romantic love, I'm talking about love in general, how your relations with other people, everything is very romantic to you. And it has to be that way for you to be able to connect to your higher source, your higher self, your spiritual psychic gifts. You do this through an expression of love. Very romantic, very loving people. And I think you like to laugh, you like to smile, you like to make other people feel loved too. You're very good at giving love. Oh. And so this is like your gift. Your gift is the gift of love. But mostly it's how you absorb love from others. And how that is able to actually, that is what gives you good health too. It's how you can transmute that love, the energy of love, and heal yourself and heal others. Truly. That's a gift. That really is. Okay, so the next one we are going to look at is protection. So this is how the barred owl brings you the message of protection, how you're guarding your guardian energies, okay? We have the Queen of Spring. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you maintain a balance between work and home life. You like to play a lot, that's for sure. And you don't like to work. And your work is going to need to be something that you love, or you just won't be happy, because you're driven completely by love and the love of others. And maybe you've had some heartbreaks. And so because you're so giving and because you're so loving, there's been some people that have taken advantage of that. And now maybe you're a little shy about it, or you're reserved, or you have heartbreak perhaps there. But this is saying you're guarded and you're protected. And there are people around you that love you and protect you. So the barred owl brings your guardian energies through other people and their love that they give to you. So you're probably surrounded by a lot of people who really love you and want to protect you. And also the love of source too. So the Queen of Spring would be like the Queen of Wands. And you're a very talented individual. You're artists probably is I could really get the strong sense of artists and romantics, and the people around you. Some people might be critical of that, and some will just absolutely love that. And this is your boundary, is to know the difference. Know the difference between people who admire and love you and the people who are taking advantage of you. Because when you're such a loving, giving person, it's easy to take advantage of that. And it doesn't make you naive or bad, or, any of those things. It's not. The people who take advantage of that are the bad ones. Okay, they're doing that because they're taking advantage of your goodwill. Over time, you gain experience and you learn about that. And the important thing is to not let it discourage you or disappoint you and make you bitter. And because that would be bad, especially bad for somebody like you, because you really need to feel that love and connection with others, and you are protected in that way. And so it's like, have faith in yourself and don't let the actions of other people who might be jealous of you or taking advantage of you detour you from your path, because they are not a reflection of your weakness. Okay, don't let other people be a reflection of your weakness. They're not. They're taking advantage of your strength, your ability to love, your ability to give love. That's their weakness, not your weakness. I hope that makes sense. Because some people say, oh, you're weak. They see someone being loving and giving as being naive and weak. That's what people who are damaged and need therapy say, like they're the weak one, not you. Okay. The next card we're going to look at is laughter medicine. So I don't know, the barred owl. I'm going to have a link to the barred owl down below so you can hear what it sounds like and what it looks like. And it has a very distinctive sound that it makes, like woo, woo, woo. It's why I noticed it so much, because it sounds kind of like laughter. And so this is saying like how to bring more laughter into your life and with other people. Okay. So we have King of Autumn. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything going your way. A good person or company to work for. You bring laughter to, I think you bring laughter to other people a lot. I think you're the one at work who kind of lifts everyone up, you know? You're the one that people, look forward to at work, and there might be some Debbie Downers that you work for or around you who might kind of bring you down. And this is kind of saying like, this reading very strongly is saying, do not let downer people, you do not let negative people block your love, block that free giving love that you are able to do, that is so many people are not able to do. It is part of you. You are a vibrant, beautiful person. You have so much love to give, and that love you use to heal yourself and to heal others. So even though these Debbie Downers, you know, these people who are negative around you might try to hurt you in that way, like with maybe some words that aren't very kind, you need to stay grounded in your own truth. And with the King of so this is the King of Pentacles, is very compassionate. So it's saying like, don't let, this is like how you bring laughter to others. Basically this card is saying that it's how you stay grounded. It's by giving other people permission to laugh too. And that's your gift. And never look down on that. And don't let other people make you look down on that, because that's their problem, not yours. You know, the people who want to be around you will be around you. The people who don't, won't. And so keep laughing, keep being you, keep giving that love, because that's what brings you success, to be honest. That's what this is really saying here. Okay, next we are looking at the wisdom. Insights you need to hear. So navigating challenges and make wise decisions. Okay, you think of the wise old owl? Owls are wise. Okay, so this is the barred owl's wisdom for you. Is the Three of Spring. Plan your next steps with an eye long term. Have patience. There are good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. Because you chose the Fairy Oracle, you might be somebody who kind of flits from one thing to another thing. And this card is saying to take the time to plan out your future. Look at the big picture. Where are you going? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? How do you want to get there? And, you know, make decisions towards that goal, right? So that you're never getting off track. And it's easy when you have a lot of ideas, you want to do a lot of different things, but it's more important to have a real direction and a goal. And this is what it's saying. It's saying that to complete things, to finish things. Don't leave a lot of unfinished projects. I'm totally guilty of that, so don't worry. A lot of people are. I like to start things and then I have a hard time finishing them. But this is saying your wise advice here is to finish what you started. Even if it gets challenging and hard and you're sick of it, finish what you started. But think of it in the long term. Like, you know, is this something that you want to do long term, whatever it is that you're doing? Is it taking you to the end? And if so, plan. Like, how are we going to make this happen? How is this going to come into your life? So this is basically your guidance here. Simply just finish what you start, have a really good plan, and think of the big picture. You don't need to be so caught up in the little details. It's more important to understand where it is you really want to go, and don't let yourself get distracted along the way. All right, so the next one we're going to look at is the shadow that needs to be addressed, what you're avoiding and what you need to confront. Okay? So we have Nine of Winter. Unfounded fear. focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. Yeah, I have an anxiety disorder and I understand this card so well, and I feel this pile probably does too. A lot of people who are very deeply connected to source energy, people who are really psychic, tend to have anxiety. And creative and artists, you tend to have anxiety. It kind of comes with the territory because you're really sensitive. Very sensitive. You pick up on things from other people. And so you might close down a lot around other people because you feel those negative energies. That's what this was addressing here. You feel those negative energies. And so, it's like it's saying, pardon me, it goes this way. It's like it's saying, a lot of your fears are unfounded, and it's important to address your anxiety by using logic. That's the best way we can get out of anxiety, is to think critically. Is this true? It's a great question to ask yourself when you're heightened in anxiety. Is this true? If it is true, what does that mean? What would I do if this was true? And I know, as somebody who has anxiety, sometimes your anxiety can go right into your body. You think you're fine, but your anxiety is living in your body. So you want to stretch it out. And it's interesting because this is definitely a good message to go with Vidit from Tarot Yogi, because he is a yogi. He does yoga. He's a yogi. So try yoga. Yoga kind of combines both breath work and calming things, your mind, and stretching your body. This is people who suffer from anxiety do really well with yoga. And so definitely give that a try if you haven't already. If you are kind of somebody who's familiar with yoga or you've done it before, try to get into a regular practice of it. You don't have to sit there and do an hour-long yoga thing. You can just do 10 minutes every day. At the time of day when you're really anxious is probably the best time to do it. Like if you have a hard time going to sleep, then stretching out your body before bed will really help. And if you have a lot of morning anxiety, say I'm a morning anxiety person. Evening I'm relaxed. The morning I'm very anxious. So the morning would be a good time then to do some yoga, to calm, to center yourself. So this is basically, I relate to you. I relate to this pile very much as group. You're the artists, you're the creatives, you're very psychic, you're highly in tune to the world around you, you're very sensitive, you feel things deeply, you're very in tune with other people, you take on their energies, and you're very free with your love though. That's something that's quite rare is being able to be so free with your love and being able to accept love from others. That's a difficult thing to do. You're okay being vulnerable, but it also makes you anxious. So this barred owl really wants you to take care of your anxiety. Try to find ways to feel calm. Okay, the last card we're going to look at is the path forward, potential for growth, transformation, and realizing your spiritual growth. So this is the outcome card. This is, tying this all together. What is the expression of your highest self through this transformation, through this spiritual journey? You have Nine of Spring. Ooh, I love it because you have Nine of Swords over here as your shadow and you have Nine of Spring as your growth. So this would be Nine of Wands. So protect the fruits of your labors. Prepare for the possible challenges that lie ahead. Environmental conservatism. What I feel with this card is that you're able to protect yourself. You're able to have that layer of protection around you so you're not so overwhelmed by your other people's energies. You're able to block them and allow in what you need. So this is you living in the fullest expression of your spiritual gifts and your transformation, you as an artist, where you can absorb the energies of the world around you, but they don't bring you down and they don't cause you harm. Harm in the form of anxiety, harm in the form of feeling ill. You are able to transmute those energies and create healing from them. That's what this is saying. You're good at protection and you care about the world around you and you care about the people around you. And you are protected in this way. And you are able to protect yourself. And I almost thought that was the Nine of Pentacles when I threw it, because the Nine of Pentacles is the card of self-reliance, and pretty much that this is how I feel for you, is self-reliance. While you do really rely on the love and affections of other people to fuel you, I feel like you don't really need that in the future as you grow and grow into your spiritual gifts, that you will be comfortable on your own and you don't need the other people to fuel you so much. You'll draw what you need and leave what you don't. And you're getting there. You're getting there. Okay, so now we're going to go into all the oracle cards to use. Here we go. Messages. Okay. Get grounded. Empaths, highly sensitive, connects with nature. Yeah. Okay. So that was what I felt when I was doing this reading. You're very empathic, highly sensitive, and therefore you take on the energies of others very easily. The way you can do that is this card is saying, is to ground yourself. So they're sitting in almost in a yoga pose in meditation. I really feel that yoga and meditation would be, as a regular daily practice, would be very helpful for you. And again, you don't have to spend a lot of time on it. You can just do it for a few minutes a day and it will be so beneficial for you. It will help ground you down. And even better, if you can touch grass, get out in the nature, get out in the trees. It's probably where you feel the most relaxed, is out in nature. The more often you can do that and take walks in nature, the more grounded you will feel. What do we have here? The gift. All right, I'm going to quickly check the card for this. Be careful of stepping into situations you may not be able to get out of. Retreat from complicated situations. Okay, so it's what I felt like. You are a very gifted, talented person, and you do take on the energies of other people, that you don't want to get caught up in their dramas and you don't want to get caught up in other people's garbage. Like, if you see it happening, you just need to step away. If people are bringing you their drama, this is where you need to put up those boundaries. Okay? So coming back down to the Queen of Spring, so to the Queen of Wands, if any of the queens are going to be gossipy, it's the Queen of Swans. So that is where you don't want to be. You don't want to be gossipy, because I feel that drains you, and that the dramas of other people. So it looks like she's got a headache. It's just like, oh, I don't want to hear this negative people. This is where you really need to set up boundaries, because it can really drain you fast. Eye to eye. I feel that you do. You do see eye to eye, and you see through the moth of transformation, the eyes. There's an eye for glasses, and then her own eyes. You can see from many different perspectives. You're a very strategic person. You may not know this about yourself, and maybe you do, but you can think very strategically. I'm going to look up this card for a moment too, just to get the actual card's meaning, but this is what I'm interpreting from it, is that you can see many different angles. Okay, so let's see, eye to eye. I spy with mighty eye you. Do you view things from others' perspectives? That's yes. You can see many different perspectives of things. This is all empaths can do that. We are able to walk in the shoes of others, see through their eyes, so to speak. The key is not to take on their energies too much, though. And so this card is to remind you that everything is relative. In your reality, there is only one truth, and somebody else has a different truth. So again, this is another message that's coming through with this. Is you can see from many different perspectives. However, it is still from your perspective. And when other people are giving you their perspective, understand that that's just from their perspective. So it's not necessarily your truth. And that comes back to, the boundaries and not listening to negative people. And I think that you might take things very personally when people critique you or criticize you. You take it on. And this is saying, like, don't take on the opinions of others. Understand that we all have different way of looking at things, and that doesn't mean that it's your truth. Okay? How you see things is how everyone sees things is relative to your life experience, relative to your upbringing, and all of that stuff. So just keep that in mind, and that will help you feel less anxious as well when you're able to see things from a perspective that, you know, that it's all relative. Okay, next. Moon Rising Truth. So that's very similar card. Understanding that other people's truths are not your truths. Because it's just this group. I feel you. You're empaths, and it's so easy to take on the truths of other people because you feel things so deeply and so personally that it can be hard. And I understand. Like I can relate. This reading is the Bard Owl is offering a loving guidance to you to understand that sometimes the truth isn't always pretty, and not everybody's going to have positive views of you. Not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. And that's okay. Let them go. You don't need their opinions. That's just their opinions. It's not your truth. Okay. Next, we have voice. Now, some of you might be singers. Very expressive with your voice. You talk a lot. Some of you, I get the fairy vibe, you know, kind of fleeting from place to place. You're very social creatures. And you can write. And some of the stories, I feel you can write. And maybe some of you are thinking about writing a book or doing some kind of writing or speaking. You could be singing, using your voice in some way like that. Bard Owl is here to say you are being guided towards this, and you will be protected in this venture should you choose to do it. And it's basically saying that is a gift of yours that would be good to pursue if you haven't already. Okay. Oneness is the way. How can you show more compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? So again, that goes back to, I really strongly feel that those of you who are watching this are just very sensitive. And again, you take on the opinions of others. You take them very personally. And understand that it doesn't matter what somebody says to you. You might have had somebody say some really cruel things to you. You might have been bullied, even some of you. You're just highly sensitive. And this is just understanding that we're all one, and some people are hurting more than others, and they lash out, and they might say things to you. Don't allow their hurt to hurt you. Like, put up boundaries and protect yourself from that. But also don't allow yourself to be sucked into that either, because it's easy to do. It's easy to get sucked into the dramas of other people, but it'll only hurt you in the end. It's best to take a step back. And if you're offering your love and support and they're using it, you know, you'll see that and trust it. See the truth in people. It's good to, you know, you're very much the rosy colored glasses group, and that's great for art, but at the same time, it's good to see the truth of things and to accept them, because otherwise you live in anxiety. And once you can get past it, you can accept this is just how people are. Not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to have some nice things to say. Not everybody wants to be around me or wants my truth. Some people are kind of cruel, but that's just how things are. I accept it. I know that we are all one. I know that we are all connected. In the end, you know, everything is actual love, even the ugliest things. And it'll help you stay in that romantic vibe that you're in. Everything about you is romantic. I'm similar. When you're an artist, everything's beautiful and romantic, all of it. but it can also make you vulnerable to being hurt. And this is saying, like, not everything is going to be beautiful and romantic. Once you accept that truth, and once you can get past the anxiety, then you can really be in that romantic view without it being idealism and more, like, idealism isn't bad. I don't think that's a wrong word. Like fantasy instead of reality. Like you understand both. Okay. Allowance. Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. The frequency of allowance invites us to be open to whatever comes our way, without judgment, without opinion, without fear, and without resistance. When we allow, the universe becomes our partner in the wondrous dance of existence and expansion. So this card puts it much better than I did. I was trying to kind of say that. Sometimes I have a hard time putting things to words because, I can be like this too. I take on the energies of things and it can make me feel flustered in my mind. And so I very much relate to you. Just understand that. Like I relate to you. And I had a hard time with this reading too. I was feeling very flustered. And now I understand why. It's because you take on the energies of others, you tend to also be flustered and get off track sometimes. And it's like, and be resistant. There's a resistance here because of fear. And here it's saying just allow. And it's another 9. 9, 9, 9. 9 is a completion number. So there's something in your life that's coming to a completion. It's coming to an end. And it's allowing for you to feel more yourself and grounded and content. There is contentment here. Okay. We have humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. It's not wrong that you do that. And try not to get caught up in your own failures, your idea of what your failures are. I'll let me put it that way. I mean, you might think you're failing at something and somebody else thinks you're succeeding. Again, understand that your perspective of yourself is still your perspective, but it's not necessarily how other people see you. So that's another message that's coming through here is perhaps you very much doubt yourself and you doubt your talents and you doubt how your gifts and you're very worried about it and anxious about it. And this is saying like, you really shouldn't, because you are very talented and you are very gifted and you're meant to just be and allow things to just be. And it's not easy to do. It takes time, it takes practice, and it's going to take a lot of grounding. But you can do it. And the Barred Owl's here to encourage this with you. Encourage that you find that place of serenity that comes from allowing yourself to be romantic, allowing yourself to laugh and see the light side of life, allowing all these things. But at the same time, knowing the truth that not everything is all, light and fluffy, that there is darkness in this world. Both are here for a reason. Okay. And don't fear the darkness in this world, is what I'm trying to say. It's needed. It's part of this world. You think about, the best example I can give is you think of a lion, right? Look out in the wild. So we have a deer and their baby fawn, and we have a lion and its cubs. The lion has to survive. It has to feed its cubs. Its food is deer, And so the lion kills the fawn because it's easy to do to feed its cubs. And you might think that's so cruel. This deer's lost its fawn. It is a cruelty, but it's part of life. And so once we can accept that this darkness is just a part of life, it's much easier just to be calm and to be centered in it and not to resist it so much. Last but not least, enlightenment. This is your ultimate path here. It's a path to enlightenment, and it's going to come from you feeling resilient, building resilience from this world so it doesn't bring you down so much. I really get the sense of dueling energies of this group of really wanting to be light and happy and fluffy and everything's great and good, but at the same time you're full of fear and anxiety ridden. And so much of us are, who are so creative and psychic, and this isn't normal. It's not, there's nothing wrong with you, okay? There's nothing wrong with you. That's really what I want to say here. Nothing wrong with you at all. It's just, how can you, as such a sensitive light being in this world that can have very dense, unforgiving energies, thrive? And how you're going to thrive is by building up that walls of resilience and accepting how life is, accepting the darkness as part of it, accepting that cruelty is a part of life. And once you're able to get there, you're really going to feel at peace. And that is your ultimate enlightenment, is when you finally feel at peace in this world, and its darkness, it doesn't bring you down. And your ultimate expression is taking love and giving love, is giving love freely and receiving love freely from others, and using that to heal yourself and heal others. This is where your true highest expression comes from. You are psychic. Embrace that. All right, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this message helped you. Do leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think about this reading. It's very different from what I normally do. I love bringing this to you, especially because the barred owl has been such a beacon of light in my own life. And do check out Vineet's Tarot Yogi, his barn owl reading, because he is great. And I have a feeling you're going to find more of what you need to hear from him. So do check that out. Link below. All right, do subscribe to this channel. I'd love to have you back. And thank you so much for joining me. Bye now. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading. This reading is a very special collaboration that I'm doing with Vineet from Tarot Yogi. Do go check out his reading. He's going to be bringing you a message from the barn owl. I am going to be bringing you in messages from the barred owl. The description and the spiritual meaning of the barred owl I went through in the introduction, but I'll give you a little bit more here. Basically, the barred owl is brings messages of protection, of boundaries, and what your spiritual gifts are, and how to transform your life into the life that you're here to express. So living your personal truth and guiding you on your personal journey. So we are going to do a reading around that. I've designed a specific spread for this particular reading. The energy of this group, those of you watching, are more philosophers. You like things to be open to interpretation. So you're very open-minded, and you don't like to be guided. You prefer to kind of see where things take you rather than being told where you should go. Okay, so this reading is going to go through messages from the barred owl, and based on the spiritual meaning of the barred owl and what messages it brings. I have a special connection with the barred owl. It has visited me several times over the past couple of years. It has a very interesting call. I put the link down below so that you can listen to it. And it's like a whoo, whoo, whoo. It's very unique. And that's how I knew it was a barred owl, because of how it sounds. So I've been visited by this barred owl several times over the past couple of years, and these are the messages that it brings you. So the first one has to do with your cosmic connection. It's your spiritual journey, creative potential, how to harness it for your personal growth. So for you, we have 4 of Cups. Okay. Going with the energy of this group, where you're very in a group that is your philosophers. That's what I really get here. You're philosophers. You like to think about things. You're very open-minded, but you think about things in a different kind of way. You're a more minimalistic kind of people. You keep it simple. You like it to be simple. And so with the 4 of Cups, so the original message of the Horse of Cups is you're kind of over it and you just don't really want anything that's given to you. It has a bit of the ungratefulness, it can, vibe. But in this particular reading, because it's a woman who is meditating and she's got 3 ordinary cups and there's a pink cup in her mind. It's like you know what you don't want. You have something in your mind that you're trying to reach, and you need to trust that. So you need to walk your own path. You keep things simple, but you don't like to be guided. I very strongly feel that with this group. You don't like to be guided. You don't like to be told what to do. And you don't want the things that other people want. So you very much walk to the beat of your own drum. You probably live a very unique lifestyle, very different than other people. And this is how you like it. You don't care. You do not care what other people think. You know what you want. You know what you want. This is your gift. This is your creative potential is that you don't follow the pack. You need things to be from your own imagination. You want to create something for yourself. You're very unique. And you like to keep things very simple. And you can find that this world can be quite cluttered. And that's why the meditation, you're very much connected, very meditators. Like you meditate a lot, is what I get. And if you don't, this is a very clear message that you should, because this is where you're going to have really great insights. Is when you're sitting still in your higher mind. You're very much a higher minded group. Okay, so the next card we have here is the Realm Access Portal. This is where this is your spiritual tools and gifts and that you possess for manifestation and transformation. And we have Queen of Wands, which is perfect because the Queen of Wands walks to the beat of her own drum. She's she's flamboyant in her self-expression because she's not easily influenced by others. She's the leader. She's the fashionista. You're a trendsetter. Okay. That's where I'm coming from. Okay. I'm trying to get the words out. I'm trying to think. I've got this vibe from you. You're trendsetters. Very much about removing all the clutter and all of the noise, and you have a very clear vision in your mind. Okay, we're getting there. Sometimes with readings, it's just like you kind of have to get there. You have to talk through it. And this is you. You're very single-minded. You have an idea, you go for it. And you don't care what other people think. You really don't. You're very much in your own mind, on your own path. You know what you want. It's not what other people have. It's not what other people do. It's yours, your idea. So you are a trendsetter in anywhere you want to take that, whether it's fashion, whether it's writing, whether it's just business, even if you're an accountant. Whatever you do in such a unique way that other people are like, huh, well, that's interesting. Never thought to do it that way before. I like it. So while you might not be for everyone, you are definitely somebody who clears a path for others who choose to walk down it. That's your goal, or your gift, sorry. That is your real gift. You clear a pathway for others to walk because you know where you're going and you will not be distracted from other things. You're going to where you want to go. You're finding your way, and it's your way, nobody else's way. You're very unique, very charismatic too. Again, it's in your own way. Like if you had a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel or something, it would look totally different than everyone else's. You would have your own vibe going, and it would be authentic to you, and everybody else would wonder, like, how does this person get so many followers? Because you are so different and unique. You just are not easily influenced by others around you. You have a very singular focus and vision. You're a trendsetter. You walk to the beat of your own drum. You see things from your own way, and you will not be distracted by others. Okay, so the next we're looking at protection. So this is the message of protection. guardian energies that surround you. So this is what the real heart of the message would be from the barred owl, because that's what they bring you, is protection. And so we have Princess of Wands and we have Eight of Pentacles. And this is about you keeping that flame alive. And you are protected in your work. You are here to master something. And this is protected. It will always be protected. Your work is important because it's so different and so unique that it's needed in this world. Your vision is needed in this world. Your very unique way of looking at things, your perspective is needed in this world, and it will be protected. You're very passionate in the things that you do. You feel passionate. You feel, but not in a, I'm trying to describe you. And it's very difficult to describe you because you're not somebody who's like others. You know what I mean? And all of you are going to be so different who's watching this. Like if I got you in a room, you would all be so different from each other because you really do walk your own path. And it's not a beaten path. It's not a path that's been walked by others. This is a path that you have to beat down, which is harder because you're going to find a lot of resistance. But this is saying with Eight of Pentacles, your work is protected. And you need to also set boundaries around your work. You don't let the flights and fancies of other people influence your work. And so that's protected. And that's just a part of who you are. You're worldly too. I think you travel a lot. And when you do travel, you are protected. So know that. Yeah, you're worldly. I get that very clearly here. So next we're going to be looking at your laughter medicine. Your laughter medicine, how you can bring humor into your interactions with others. I kind of feel a lot of you are a bit like you have people in your life that you're very close to, but you're probably a little bit more lonerish. I feel kind of lone wolves a little bit. Like even if you have a partner and a family, you'd like to have your alone time. Okay. Three of Wands. About travel, expansion. So humor for you is that you're so open-minded that you're able to create, you have a very unique sense of humor because it's different than everyone else's. Because you're a big picture thinker and you can see things that other people can't see. And so you might even know that's funny to others, but it just naturally is. Like you allow people to see things differently, that it lightens them up. So you lighten the mood just by being so different and expanding people's visions and views of things and how they see things and how they look at the world. You bring joy. Whether you know it or not, you bring joy. Even if you're a serious person, you still bring joy. I get that from you. And also to not be afraid to allow your unique self to shine through and allow that big, wonderful, open mind of yours to be a light for others. Humor is just about lightening ourselves, lightening the load of our hearts. You know, it allows us to kind of transmute that darker energy and pull it out. We're doing it through laughter. And you just have that gift naturally, I feel. So the next one we have is the wisdom. So insights that you need to hear. How do you navigate challenges and make wise decisions? We have Two of Pentacles. And so because you're a very unique person and you're very multifaceted too. So you're going to have to you're going to have to find a way to be in this world, but not really of it. And that's going to be a challenge for you because not everybody's going to see your way of doing things. So you're going to probably meet resistance from others. And also you might have to be doing mundane things that you really don't want to do in order to thrive in this world. You know, we have to have a job, we have to make money, we have to do these things. So, and maybe you found a way to do it through your unique self, but you might also need to take on some mundane work and do some mundane things to get through this world. And so this is a matter of balancing out these things, balancing out work and play, balancing out your complete vision that you have for your life while also doing the mundane things. So it's kind of like it all comes together for you. And the decisions that you make come together, they kind of have to meld together. You know, everything that you do comes down to the fact that you are such a visionary, that you have a place that you're going and you will not be deterred from it. At the same time, though, you've got to find balance with the mundane things in life that you find kind of boring, or that you just don't want to do. You don't like doing the things that other people do, but it's you know, things that are mainstream bother you. But sometimes we have to do mainstream things, and because we're part of the mainstream, which is part of life. So this is you finding a way to balance out your own unique, beautiful self with the things that you find kind of mundane and your antithesis, you know, the opposite of you. And so when you're able to do that, that's when you're really going to thrive. Okay. Next, we have the shadow. So this is the part of you that needs to be addressed, something you might be avoiding, and how to, you know, transmute that or bring the shadow to light. And we have Two of Swords, and it was in reverse. Okay, I'm going to leave it in reverse. I don't usually do, wait a minute. Oh, this was 2 cards, that's right. I don't usually do reversals unless they come out by accident. I try to keep the cards upright. I just prefer to do it. But if they do come out, I take it. So the shadow side of yourself with 2 of Swords in reverse is telling me that, well, it's like you have a hard time melding your ideas with others. You kind of come to, when other people bring their ideas, if you have to work in a group setting, you might come to battles with them. You have a hard time getting people to see things your way. And you might even have a bit of a refusal to see things the other way. This comes down to the 2 of Pentacles as well. And understanding, so it's the 2s, right? There's 2 sides to one coin, and it's being able to see that the other side exists even if you don't want to be a part of it. You are a part of it. And to accept that, and to accept other people's ideas and inputs into things. So it's how you relate to other people that's kind of your shadow self, because you have a hard time relating to other people. And this is saying, like, other people's ideas and their way that they talk to you might be confusing to you. There might be, this might be my neurodivergent pile too. Some of you might be on that spectrum. And so you might have a really hard time understanding other people and what they mean and what they're trying to say. And this is just accepting that, like, you know, not everybody's going to understand you, and you're not going to understand everybody else, and that's okay. And it's okay to ask people, like, what do you mean? You know, and try to understand where other people are coming from, and trying to see others' perspectives as well. It can't always just be your perspective. It's easy to kind of just walk your own path, but you do have to be able to see and understand the perspectives of others. I know this is 2 of Swords is very much about being indecisive and having a hard time making decisions. And I don't think you do have a hard time making decisions, but you have a hard time, it's like you have a hard time communicating your ideas and thoughts and your decisions, and just communication with others is what I get. Because it's the 2 swords kind of blending here. Like you get caught up in the opinions of others about what you do, perhaps. And I get that it has a lot to do with that you might be feeling overwhelmed by the choices, and like maybe you have other people who like to give you their opinions and you feel overwhelmed by it all. That's really what I sense. And this is the advice here is to learn to kind of take other people's opinions with a grain of salt. Like you don't need to take it on. You don't need to let it confuse you. And, it's okay if other people don't really understand what you mean. Not everybody's going to understand what you mean. So it's just about accepting that part of yourself, I believe, and not letting it fluster you too much. And I understand, because I have a hard time even with these tarot readings. These tarot readings that I do for YouTube help me to express myself better. I have a very difficult time expressing myself verbally. I do better with written word. And so maybe that's a way that you can get past that part of yourself that you feel stuck with when it comes to working and dealing with other people and their opinions that might be muddling up your works, like confusing you, is to write it out. Write it down, journal, so it clears you out your head. It clears out your thoughts and helps you make sense of things. Okay, so the next one we're going to look at is the path forward. It's the manifestation, like how all of this is going to manifest into your ultimate transformation, your personal, the realization of your spiritual gifts, basically. Okay. And then we're going to get to the many different oracle decks that I have brought out for this reading. The Barred Owl has a lot of messages to give. Oh, here we go. That's what wanted to come out. 7 of Pentacles. Patience and the realization of your gifts has to do with your work. So your work is very important to you. I get whatever that work is, it's very important to you. Your work might just be your own life. Your life is your life's work is just, you're somebody who has a life's work. Your life's, like, some people, their job is just their job. It's not their life, but for you, it's your life somehow. How you make money and monetize yourself, and how it's whatever you do as work is your life. It consumes you. It's important to you. And it's the patience to get there, and that it will get there when you are able to just keep going, keep working on your goals, keep working at doing what you do, follow your passions, and not be too distracted by other people and their opinions, or their inability to understand you. That's what I want to say. You feel misunderstood, I think, by others, and that can have a real detriment to you. On the one hand, you don't really care what other people think, but when you have to work, you do eventually have to work to other people, and you do eventually have to communicate what your desires and goals and feelings and thoughts are to other people, and you have a hard time with that. That's what I get from this reading. And you will learn to balance these things. And don't give up. Keep working at it. You'll get there. You will get there. Your work is important. That's what I really strongly get from this, is that, your work is very important. Okay. There's too many cards that came out. But this is the one. Seeing the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. This is you. Like, this card is a crystal clear ocean. It's beautiful. It's sparkling. That's your mind. And it's like, this is where you reside. This is who you are. And this is where you will always be. And I think that when anyone comes around, or, life kind of brings you its chaos and noise, that it can throw you off. But this is saying that it's okay to accept that you're a little different than everybody else, It's okay that you're different than everyone else. You don't need other people to really understand you. Not everybody's going to understand you. Some people will completely understand you, and other people will not. Okay? And you're not going to understand other people. That's okay. It's really okay. And it might be something you kind of struggle with. It might be a sore spot for you, is being misunderstood. And it's a part of who you are. And it's like, and it's a bit of a dichotomy of you. It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you don't really care what other people think, but on the other hand, you know that it's important, you know, to have to communicate, and it frustrates you when other people don't understand you. Okay. Octopus, another sea thing. So you're a lot of depth to you. You live in the deep oceans. You know, you have so much depth, and your work is very important, and it's important to this world. You're beating a path for others, or you're creating a path for others to walk down. You're clearing this path, and that is not an easy path to take. That is not an easy path to take. So give yourself some grace. It's okay if you don't fit in, or people don't get you or understand you, because you're doing things that other people have never done before. And, you know, pat yourself on the back. That is a difficult path to take, but it's a rewarding one. And you will reap the rewards in the end. This is you. You're peaceful. This peaceful, beautiful, you'll always be there. Okay, octopus. Time to prioritize and get things done. Patience and intellect lead you to success. Yeah. I feel that very strongly with this pile, or this group. Your work is your life. But also, you know, do balance work and play. Allow yourself to have fun. And maybe your work is fun to you. But I mean, outside of work, not everything has to be about your work. Like, it's important to have other interests too, and to explore other things that could also complement your work, or not, but it doesn't matter. The point though is that you are enjoying yourself, and it's not all about your work, because you don't want to get too obsessed with it. You want to be able to balance things out in your life by, you know, because if you get too obsessed with your work, then you're not going to have time or space for other things that are outside of your work, if you understand what I mean. And maybe you don't care about that, but it is important to be more well-rounded and will also help your work in the end. So forever young, but it's in reverse. You might feel like you don't have time, like you're in a hurry and you have to get things done. You might feel that the time is against you here. I'm going to read this particular card in this deck and see what the reversal means of this one. It's okay to take up a seat at the kids' table to fool around and be silly, but don't get stuck there. Sometimes we chase youth because we are afraid of failing as an adult, afraid of responsibilities, or of disappointing the people around you. It is truly easy to forget your age in these cases. Today, do one adult thing. Pay a bill early, send out thank you cards, and that's been shoved to the side. Okay, that's what I was saying about don't getting too obsessed with your work, because then it's to the detriment of other things. It's not just play. Okay, I think there's a real message for some of you in here that your work is fun, like you enjoy it. And you're so wrapped up in your work that you tend to not pay your Visa bill. Oops, I'm late on my rent, you know, and these things are going to cause you stress. And that's going down to that shadow side, that miscommunication you have with others. It might have to do with, you know, creditors and bill collectors and all that stuff. This is prioritize those things, those mundane things that you don't want to do, because it's very important for your overall well-being. And understanding that, you know, we all have to do that. Nobody wants to, but we all have to. It's just part of it. Just do it and get it done. Have a day that you do these things in the month. You know, I don't know. Pick the first Monday of the month. This is the day I'm going to pay my bills. I'm going to do my paperwork. I'm going to, organize things. I'm going to, whatever it is that you need to do to get done, make that the day that you do the mundane stuff. Okay, and then you'll just get in the habit of doing it, and it won't overwhelm you so much. Okay. Next, we have truth. First pile got this as well. I do feel like you are very much living your truth. You live your truth. You live in the truth. Your truth. You really don't care about what other people think. And this is a good thing. You're going places. You really are. You're doing something very important, and that's the truth. And you know that about yourself too. Yeah. You're a very honest person too. I feel like you're blunt and honest. And that might be a little bit alarming to some people, but I feel like that's for you. It's just who you are. Don't be ashamed of that. You are who you are. You live in your truth. Okay. Next, we have change of mind. I do feel this is a very open-minded group, but I also feel that you are one-track minded too, because you're very involved in your work. And so sometimes it's okay to change your mind about things. It doesn't make you flaky or indecisive. It's just that's what you got to do. And I do feel like more so I kind of get, I really feel like you are an ever expanding, evolving person. You are a philosopher at heart. You are open to other people's ideas. You are open to expansive thinking. You're not afraid of the truth, and you're not afraid to change your mind about things either. That's what I feel for most of you. You will change your mind if the truth presents itself. You will change your mind. So you're not one of these people that will just vote one party for your whole life. Like as you vote to the voting booth, you're not just like, well, I always vote this party, so I'm just going to keep doing that. You vote based on who has what to offer in that particular election. Like you are not persuaded by like herd mentality. You're more about being off on your own and seeing things from a much greater perspective. Like you're very enlightened. You see things differently. You're okay. You're malleable. You are willing to change your mind. You're willing to see things. You're willing to change your mind when you see the truth. Okay. Eliminate distractions. Stop shining light on things that you are not. How can you reclaim your power? That goes back to the Two of Swords when we were talking about how other people's kind of opinions and things can distract you a little bit, and you have a hard time maybe expressing yourself because you feel like other people don't really understand you sometimes, and it is hard. It can be a distraction for you. So instead of focusing on that, just be who you are, and it's okay if people aren't always going to understand you. You speak your truth, and that's all you can do. I do feel there's a lot of people watching this, or some people, I shouldn't say a lot, but some people watching this are on the spectrum, and you struggle with that. You struggle with how to get other people to understand you. They misinterpret what you say a lot, and that's like a struggle for you. But stay in your own truth. Okay. Realization. The frequency of realization supports the internal process of becoming aware of our heart-centered truth, as well as the external process of becoming our highest expression in this world. Yes, as I was saying, stay in your truth. It's okay that other people aren't going to get you or don't understand you. They don't need to. And it might be like family too, have a hard time. Maybe they interfere a lot and they try to guide you because they think you need it, but you don't need it. Yeah, this is definitely standing your truth. Even if other people don't get it, it doesn't matter. You are forging ahead a path that nobody else has walked down before. Nobody can guide you. You can't be guided here. That's very strongly what I feel in this group. That you have to walk your own path and not let yourself be guided by others or distracted by other people or worry about that other people aren't understanding you, because it really doesn't matter. Your work and what you're doing and being who you are is more important. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Absolutely. You're definitely somebody who can do that. You will realize your goal. This realization is coming. Like with the 7 of Pentacles here, there's 7 energy here. 7 energy is very unique, very spiritual, high-minded, loner vibes too. So, and I think you struggle with that because as I said, like other people might not understand you or see eye to eye with you, but you know, it doesn't matter. It's like you live in your own truth. Your work is very important to you, and what the work you're doing, whatever that work is, doesn't matter. It can be anything. But whatever that work is that is so important to you, it's important to you for a reason. You're meant to do it. You're meant to follow that path. You will realize it. And you are creating a path for others. And it's a difficult path that you've taken. Like, pat yourself on the back. It's hard work. You're going to meet a lot of resistance. And, but you know, you're okay with that. You're okay with that. Okay. A lot of people would not be able to do what you do, but you do it easily. Not easily. I shouldn't say easily, but for you, it's not as hard as it would be for others. Meditation. The real theme here about this, this is how you're really going to be grounded. This is how you're also going to be able to communicate yourself with other people easier, is sitting in meditation. Now, meditation doesn't have to be sitting there going, it can also be journaling or just walking in nature and grounding yourself. It's allowing you to clear your head and clear your thoughts so that because you're like this season I'm talking, your brain needs to be open all the time. And if it's just other people's distractions and opinions and things, it bothers you and you need a clear mind. So you're somebody who probably, you know, the highest expression kind of, I could see you being like a Buddhist monk or something like that, because you're kind of person that you'd be happy doing that, because then no one would bother you. Like, you just kind of do your work and no one would bother you. Like, that's the vibe I get. And that's okay. You can be whatever you want to be. It's fine. It's your path, okay? Don't let other people distract you from your path. You know what you're doing. You're doing a good job. And this is just, the barred owl is here as a message to tell you to just keep walking that path. You'll get there. Persevere, because you're doing a hard thing, and you know you have a beautiful mind. It's clear, it's open, it's malleable. You're not rigid. You're not at all rigid in your mind. You'll change your mind if you see the truth, and that's a beautiful thing. All right, so do check out Vinit's reading, a tarot yogi, where he's doing a message from the barn owl. It's going to be good for sure. He's an excellent tarot reader, very good at communicating, much better than me, I must say. So I love the way his style and how he reads, and I think you would get a lot from that as well. So do check that out. Subscribe to this channel. I'd love to have you back. Do comment. What did you think? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye now. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. This reading is a special collaboration that I'm doing with Vinit from Tarot Yogi. He is going to be doing messages from the barn owl. I'm doing a message from the barred owl. So you'll find his reading down in the description, a link to that. I've chosen the barred owl. Now you can go to the beginning and I explain my history with the barred owl and the spiritual meaning of it, but I'll give you a little intro here. Basically, the barred owl is here to bring a message of protection and how your spiritual gifts and the way, sorry, I'm distracted because my cat just came and sat right at my feet. She has never done that before during a reading. So very interesting. Okay. So Kitty's here. So barred owl is a message for, protection. Okay. Protection, it also brings messages from other realms, other dimensions, your higher self, your imagination. They also have a very unique hoot. So it's like, ooh, 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 ooh. It's like, it's how I know I've been visited by the barred owl for several times in the past 2 years. I talk about that in the intro. I also leave a video down, a link to a video for the barred owl so you can hear what they sound like. And so they bring a message of humor. as well. So in this reading, we are going to see what the message the Barred Owl wants to bring for you today. Now, every single reading has a tarot deck that I chose intuitively because of who I felt would be watching this reading. This particular tarot group, this deck that I chose, is for those of you who are warriors. You're here for the fight, the good fight. A lot of you will be from marginalized communities. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Her arch enemy is at the door. The upstairs cat. They're about to get into a fight. How timely is that? Interesting. That's what you do. You're here to fight the enemy. You are warriors. Wow, okay. So, we're going to look at a message from the Barred Owl. I've created a spread specifically for the Barred Owl and what its spiritual gifts are that it brings, or messages that it brings for you. And so the first card we're going to look at is the Cosmic Connection. It's your spiritual journey, creative potential, how to harness for your growth, your personal growth. So, let's see if the cat starts fighting. She's swishing, her tail is swishing my feet. Yeah, the orange cat from upstairs is staring at her through the door. Okay. We have the King of Wands, the Throne of Fire. Yes. As I thought. You're very much the warriors, the group. You're here to... So the King of Wands is very much walks his own path. He's a leader, a visionary. And you have a vision too. You're very much a visionary. And you're here to bring that vision to the world. You have a vision of it's like a self-expression. So I thought we'd get the book for this particular reading. This is called the Next Tarot. It has slightly different definitions of the cards than others do, other tarot decks. So I want to read it to you. The King of Wands is here to envision peace that's blind to power structure, but aware of the differences and bridging the gaps where folks on margins drown. The king doesn't fear the journey towards enlightenment and global security. He is present for every step of the ride. He seeks challenges, knowing that the necessity to own your abilities and the privilege is vital to stepping up and coming clean. The King of Wands wants to clear the air in order to fill it with aspiration. They urge you to do the same, become deeply intentional, investigate the voids that have collected dust through the years, cleanse the present in order to the future, and envision the greatest self manifest. So yeah, that's what I felt very much. You're here to bring peace, and you're willing to fight the good fight for that peace. You're a leader. You're going to lead this way. Kind of similar to group 2, but in a very different way, because you're very expressive. These would, like, this group would be like, you would be the one at a protest standing up with the megaphone, telling everyone, your passions, your ideas, and why they're there, and why we need to come together, why we need to, fight the man. It's like, you're here for that. Yeah, that's how you, that's your creative potential, and your personal growth is just through action. I'm trying to think of the word. It's like protest, you're a leader. You're going to lead people. You're here to fight on behalf of other people for the ability to be who you are, right? And you're willing to take it on, and that is incredible. Okay, the next card, we're going to keep drawing cards because the message will become more clear as we go along here. So the next card is the Realm Access Portal, spiritual tools and gifts you possess for the manifestation and transformation. So this is how you're going to do it. Or like your psychic gifts, your spiritual gifts, and how you're going to do it. Okay. the Eight of Cups. Abandon. I love this card. Saturn in Pisces. You're willing to do the hard things that other people are not willing to do. You're willing to make your own way through things. You're willing to abandon the conventions of society to do what you know is right, even though it's really hard. Saturn is about hard challenges and lessons. Like, you take those on, and that's your gift. You can do it. It's almost where you draw strength. It doesn't drain you. It's like your ability to not allow power structure. So these other two cards wanted to come with this. We have Eight of Wands and Revolution. Wow. So Revolution would be the Tower. Oh, wow. Defend the sacred, and Eight of Wands is direct action. Mercury and Sagittarius and Water Scorpio. On the one hand, you douse the fire and the flames of war, of war, which is the opposite of peace, right? That's what you're here to do. You want peace. And Eight of Wands is here, but that's like the Eight of Wands, and the Water Scorpio energy is here to kind of like douse the fires. Douse the fires of war to bring the peace of love and passion. You use the fire of passion to douse the fire of war. You're here to bring stability and peace for people, for especially a certain group of people. Whatever, maybe you are in the LGBTQ LGBTQ. I heard someone say that on Twitter and I love it. TikTok. You're here to lead. You're here to fight the fight for the others so that they can live in peace. And you're willing to take it on. You're willing to do it. Maybe you're from a certain ethnicity and a certain culture, and you get a lot of hate because of it. And you're here to take on that hate for the others. You can take it, other people, so that other people can live in peace. See if you could see these two cats right now. This is okay. The dynamic between these two cats is absolutely hilarious. The orange cat outside is stalking my cat. This is about to get really ugly here. She's at the door. She's been he went away to sit in the grass, and she's sitting at the door. Now he's stalking her. He sees her. And this is like you, kind of. You're like, oh, you think you're comfortable out there sitting in your privilege? Well, let's go. And I feel like that's you. See, there's the hissing. There's the growling. Now she's attacking through the glass. Oh, I love that she's doing that in this reading. It is so perfect for you because you're a fighter. You are fighting the good fight. You will not, and I'm not saying necessarily that you go and argue with people, that you're argumentative. You might be. Not necessarily that. You're willing to take on the hate of others so that you can bring peace to this world. Like, you transmute hate to love. Ugh, you're a beautiful person. I love you for this. I love you for this. Thank you for doing this. Thank you. Because you are the kind of person that allows other people to just be who they want to be. You're doing the good work. Bring the sun. Okay, so the next is protection. This is the card that wants to come out. So this is how your guardian energy surround you and protect you, is with the sun. Fire Leo, the sun. You make people happy. You bring happiness to other people. And your guardian energy to make sure that you live in you are a happy person, I think. Like, you're willing to take on the fight of others because you really live in joy. Like, you enjoy your life and you're not afraid to. You're going to live how you damn well please. That's how you feel. You're not going to let these people with their hate and their negativity tell you you can't be who you are. And you do that so that other people can also live in freedom too. And that is a wonderful thing. I feel energized in this group already. Like, I want to know you. I want to have coffee with you. I want to find out what it is. Like, what are you're probably really well versed in whatever it is that you're fighting for. If you're a feminist, you understand it, and you have a really unique perspective on it. And I don't feel aggression here. I feel you're here to tear down the structures of oppression. You bring the sword of truth with passion, because you're so passionate and you're so unique and you're so wonderful and you're so full of joy. I really feel that. So next is how to bring more humor to your interaction. So I feel that you are somebody with a lot of humor. I think you are a very interesting person. You have a very interesting, unique way of looking at things. And this is so we have Ace of Wands, the roots of fire. So she's crawling at him through the door. Okay, kitty, come on now. So you build the fire in others, but you do so through love and joy and happiness and peace. You're not somebody who you want to tear down structures, but you want to tear down people. You want to tear down their ideas that are holding others back. But you're not to hurt anyone. That's not what you're about. You're all about the love and the peace. And just being who you are. You might growl. But, and other people are going to growl about you. But in the end, though, you're here to inflame, to... There we go. You are here to fight, but there's a glass here between the two cats, so they can't hurt each other. That's with the sun. It's you're protected from harm. I get that very strongly. She's fighting this other cat with the glass. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this. Hold on. Okay, so she's not happy, but she's walked away. Okay, calm down. So yeah, so I feel like you're very passionate and you light the fire in other people's souls, and you do just by being yourself. You are a happy person, and that's how you bring humor. I think it's just through your own ability to be you're just vivacious, and people love you, and you bring joy, and that joy brings laughter and humor. And I think that's how you communicate through others. And that might be how you... Okay, so this might also be a little bit of advice to you for some of you, because the cats were fighting through the door. It might be okay, maybe you should tone down your language a little. Maybe you should fight with humor instead. And think of, for example, George Carlin. It doesn't matter what you think of his politics or how anything like that. But he was really about fighting the rigid structures and getting people to think differently, but he did so with humor. And I feel that's kind of how would really help you. Will disarm other people and kind of get them to see your way. It's through having a little more humor and making people laugh. I feel that'll go really far with you, and I think you're already naturally good at that anyway, because you're kind of flamboyant. It feels like there's something about you that's flamboyant. It might not necessarily be how you dress, or it's how you express yourself in some way. Okay, so next we have the insights you need to hear. So this is your wisdom. This is how you navigate challenges and make wise decisions. So we have 10 of Wands. Saturn in Sagittarius. And this is completion, it says. Okay. So the 10 of Wands in normal meaning here is about, being heavy burdens that you carry. But this particular 10 of Wands, I feel like there's the sun here at his back in the light. It's always bring joy into everything that you do is the wisdom. Bring joy, bring humor. Don't let yourself be bogged down too much in the details and the weight of it all. Because when you're taking on something really intense, like these two cats, if I was to open this door, it would get ugly, but there's a plane of protection there. And that's the thing, keep that plane of protection between you and the ugly things. You don't want to get too close to it. You don't want to keep the fire alive, but don't let it burn you. So don't burn out. And the way that's the message here for you is you don't want to burn out. So protect yourself. When you're working in this kind of work, when you're doing this kind of work, it can be very overwhelming. You can get to very dark times, and it can be hard and burdensome. And you can feel like sometimes you might be feeling like you're carrying it all by yourself. But this is saying that you have help from others. You can inspire others. Others will want to walk with you down this path. But keep up the boundaries and don't let too much in. Okay? Don't let your fire, your passions burn you. Keep them in check. Kind of is what it's saying here. Okay. So the next one is the shadow. So this is the shadow that needs to be addressed or something you might be avoiding and how to confront the shadow. Okay. It's interesting. I turned it over. And it was 8 of Swords. I was going to put it down like this. The restriction, Jupiter and Gemini. I kind of feel this is your card. I'm going to take this one too, though. King of Pentacles. The Throne of Security. Oh, okay. Yeah. So your shadow side here with the 8 of Swords is feeling like you're very trapped in your situation and you can't get out. But oftentimes it's in your head. And you might be feeling like you don't have stability or security in your life and you really need that. And maybe you feel you need that more to be able to do what it is that you need to do. So this is saying that a lot of that is in your own mind. Don't let your own worries and fears and feelings of trappedness, especially because if you are taking on something that is so big, when you come up against the opposition of the people that just will not let you be, it can make you feel like you're very trapped and nothing will ever change, and perhaps might be difficult to find a job, to find security, to find stability in your life. And this is saying that that's something that you need to confront and to know that this is a difficult path that you're walking on, but you will be supported in it. You will always be supported in it. And you may have to work jobs that you don't want to have to work in order to find that stability and security, but you can do it. And I know it's like you might feel kind of trapped in a job that you don't like, but this is also saying, like, see the big picture and understand there's a means to the end, right? Sometimes we have to do work we don't want to do to get to the place we want to go. Okay. I feel very emotional with your reading. I feel you have so much passion in your soul, and you're crying a lot for the people that you are working so hard to protect. And well, that person is you, right? But you're willing to take it on. And so I tapped into that emotion a little, and it's beautiful and also heartbreaking. And I feel for you. And give me a virtual hug here. So, you feel loved and supported because you are loved and supported. Even if you don't feel it sometimes, people might not going to support you at all. Sometimes it may be the opposite, but you will be loved and supported. All right. Last card is the path forward, the potential for growth, transformation, and realization of spiritual gifts. All right. We have the 5 of Wands, strife, Saturn and Leo. I love this card. This is you just being yourself. I'm going to read the book because, again, the cards, the representation of the cards in this are quite different than the others. So let's read the 5 of Wands together here. So much of healing is harm reduction, and so much of defining your practice is a war we wage in secrecy. The 5 of Wands reminds us that we don't need to articulate nor capitalize off our downward spirals, our numbness, our dead ends. We need to honor our preferred method of survival, hiding our sacred wild secrets, our cooking, our kink, our works in progress while the world prepares. 5 of Swords. Oh wait, 5 of Swords is the 5 of war and work and autonomy, because there is no victory without a fight. The struggle of survive without self-destruction, completion, and cyclical suffering is an indefinite battle. The five harnesses this battle, aligning work with safety and struggling with healing. The 501s ask you to consider what collaboration looks like to you. Are you co-conspirators able to meet halfway? Are you able to articulate your pain and your goals? Do your methods of tackling pain and disagreement come with armored price? The 501s ask you to own your struggles and your history. Tradition does not cancel progress. Okay. The 501s ask you to sit down with your truth, your post-traumatic stress, your complicated decisions, and your hopes for it all to go away. Let it breathe as you cultivate an answer that leaves you wise and unscathed. It's like your work is never really completed. And this is about you being okay with that. And this is about you understanding that the work you're doing is like a torch that you're going to pass to the next generation. And every generation that comes along is going to do a little bit more. And that it's teamwork. Okay? Teamwork makes the dream work, you know? It's like teamwork is when you understand that you can't do it alone. You need the help of others. And even though you are battling so much oppression in what you're doing, others are there for you, and know who's there for you, and embrace them and bring them in your life, and understand that it's not all about you, that what you're doing for this world is for you, yes, but it's for others. So know that you're passing the torch on, that your work is going to make a huge difference, and that your ultimate expression basically is you coming to terms with that and feeling good with the work that you've done in this life, that you fought the good fight and you did what you needed to do. And you feel proud of yourself. Yeah. Oh, I love that. You're going to feel very proud of your work and proud of your legacy, that you're going to leave a great legacy behind, is what I feel. Yeah. It's like your guardians are here to protect that joy in you. To not let this work get the better of you. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Next, we have a whole bunch of oracle cards that we're going to pull here to get a little more message. You're a very radical group, and you're doing important work, and you just need to know that spirit has your back. The Bard Owl, the realms, they all have your back. You're protected. To keep that joy and happiness, you still can be happy and do what you do. You can still live a happy life, even with all the odds against you. All right. We have Starkeeper. Cosmic ancestors, seed the light by staying grounded. Yeah. This is like your ancestors are with you. And it's like I said, the other realms, there's, however you want to interpret that, they're with you here. They're guiding you. They are protecting you. And it's important to stay grounded with the 10 of Wands in your shadow, in your wisdom, is don't let the burnout happen by, burning the fire, consuming you, your passions consuming you, to ground them down. And very much the cosmic connection is opening up the crown so that you are able to tap into the intuition and the higher realms, because you're meant to. And you work with your ancestors. You work with not just your ancestors, but like other worlds. Yeah, you've got a lot of guidance in the spring. Okay. Let me take a look at this book. The spring, I can't remember the meaning of this card. But I kind of get a feeling of groundedness here. Let's see here. Allow water to cure you. Release your emotions and anxieties. Okay, so that is how you get grounded, is through water. Swimming in a natural water source, like a river or a creek or a ocean or a lake or something would be very grounding for you. But having a bath with salt in it, Epsom salts, salt baths, very grounding for you, especially if you put candles in there. Peace. So in order to combat, because your work and what you do requires you to fight the good fight, even though you love it and even though you're good at it, you do need to have the opposite, which is peace. And you bring that to yourself by grounding yourself in water. Water is very good for I have a bath every single night as somebody, because I'm anxious, and this helps me to feel more calm. And I feel like water will really help, like a bath, even anything. Like a waterfall, trickling stream, just that will really help to ground you. You don't have to even be in the water, just sitting by the water will be very grounding for you, will help calm you down. And that's what you need. You feel, you just need to kind of, that's how you're going to keep the fires from burning you out, is through water, to help the peace of water, peaceful water. And you can hear in the background, I have a fountain. So, you know, that's that peace. My son loves fountains. He says it brings him so much peace. And I feel like that would be maybe a fountain even in your home, like a little trickling water source will help to calm you. Against the clock in reverse. I think that's why we had Five of Wands here, is your completion, and why I said about you're handing the torch, because I feel like maybe you feel like you're not going to get this done in your lifetime, and it worries you or bothers you, or you just feel like maybe you just won't see the progress, but you are making huge progress. Even if you don't see it yourself, the next generation sure as hell will. And just know that. Okay, so we have in reverse, I'm going to read it. Are you trying to cram so... As we go to the wisdom of the Ten of Wands, are you trying to cram so much in your days that you are not fully enjoying anything? Again, do what you must get done, but take time to lavish yourself in a bath, like we saw, you know. Perhaps be lazy, read a book, do something creative, or commune with nature. Yes, enjoy the time you get as well, doing what you must be done. Remember, life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, by the moment we take that, the moments that take our breath away. So take advantage of the free time and have some fun. And that's this Sun card. That's how you're being protected, is to keep the joy alive in your life, because it'd be easy to lose that joy when you're doing this kind of work. But this is saying, you know, all work, no play. It's like, have fun. But have fun when it has nothing to do with anything of what you're doing. You're just enjoying yourself. Go dancing if you want to. You know, sit in a coffee shop and just people watch. You know, just be yourself. Do whatever you think is fun. Doesn't matter what that is. Everybody has their own idea of fun. Whatever your idea of fun, make sure you do it. Again, that's part of not letting your fire burn you. You know, consume you. You want to keep it in check. Like the cats fighting earlier, the water. Think of the glass pane that protecting these cats, kind of fighting between the glass pane. That's that wall of protection. And for you, that's something like water or play, or things that ground you. Okay. We have embrace uncertainty, moonlit. And I really get the feeling here that a lot of you worry or wonder if your work is really doing anything. If you know, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back kind of a thing. That might be how you feel. But understand that your work is something that is going to be passed along. It's sort of like a scientist, okay? So a scientist doing their research. They might not be able to realize their research in their life, but their research then goes on to the next generation of scientists who have more knowledge and better tools and of understanding and better equipment and better technology. And so they're able to carry on your work further. You are doing work that is necessary, that will be for taking society further along. You may not see the fullest potential of it in your lifetime. You might too. I'm not saying you won't, but I'm just saying if you are worried about that and you're not seeing that, just understand that nothing is set in stone, and everything you do will have benefits to others and for generations to come. Nothing is certain, and you just have to let things go with the flow of life. Don't be resistant to it, because the work that you do, if you're an activist, you might feel always the fight mode, where this is saying, like, sometimes it's really good to be in the flow mode, and know that just because things seem a certain way doesn't mean they are. Okay? Next, worthy. You are worthy to have the life that you want to live. You're worthy to be the person that you are in your heart. To live the way you want to live for your truth. It doesn't hurt anyone else. It's who you are. Be that. And you're worthy of that. And especially if you are a marginalized group, you have heard from people your whole life that you're not good enough. You're less than. And this card is coming in strong to say, no, you are worthy. You are. Okay. Next we have breathe. The moment matters most. How can you focus on this moment and appreciate all is well? Yeah, you're very... I really do sense this group is so worried about the future and if your work matters, and it does. And if you matter, and you matter, everything you do matters. And while I talk a lot about activism and stuff, and I'm using that kind of an example, it's however that manifests in your life. Maybe you just have a TikTok channel where you talk about stuff that matters to you. And maybe you don't think it's reaching enough people. And it's reaching the right people. Just kind of know that. Just be in the moment. Try not to think so much about the future. Just allow things to unfold. Live in your truth. And know that you're worthy. Okay. And you have time. There's no rush. Okay. Alchemy. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and the remembrances of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform the miracles of transmutation. Because that's what you're doing. I mean, you are changing the way people think about things. However that manifests in your life, in the work that you are doing, it's going to be different for everyone. Everything you're doing, it matters. Everything has a purpose. You have a purpose. And the work that you're doing is transmuting the old to bring forth the new. It's enlightenment. And I did feel with the Star Keepers that you are working with ancestors, but of a different kind. It's so the Barred Owl brings messages from other realms, and I feel like you're not really from Earth, Like, yeah, you're here, but I don't think you're from here. And you know that. You're here for a very specific purpose. And so your guides and your ancestors aren't necessarily from here. I mean, they are, of course. You have a lineage here, an ancestry here. The ones that mainly guide you, I feel, are from a... Let me know in the comments if that resonates with you. I don't really follow the whole starseed thing. That's just not something that resonates with me, but maybe it resonates with you. And so I'm just going to speak what's coming through. And if it resonates with you, I'd like to know if that's how you feel, if you're just not from this world. Because what's coming through is that you have guides from other worlds, very magical beings, something else, like an alien. It feels alien. But good. Variance. Alchemy. Variance. Again, you're just here to kind of transmute energy. You're not of this world. You're really bringing forth energies from something else. And maybe that's why you feel like you don't have time. Your time is running out, or that you're not doing what you need to do because you feel like you have so much to do and not enough time to do it. But that's not true. That's not true. That's when that Eight of Swords is coming in here. It's not true. And part of your work might be here to create stability, financial security for people that don't. So maybe you're a poverty advocate, something like that. Advocacy of some kind. And it means so much to you. And yeah, you'll see. As your life unfolds, you're going to start to see how important your work really is. And you'll feel, by the end of your life, you're going to feel like you did good work. You're going to feel proud of yourself. Okay. Last card we have, service. I feel good when I help others. Oh. Whole reading is this. Yeah, this is you. You are here to serve others, to free them. You're here to free others because you're freeing yourself. But you really want to help other people. You want to be of service. And maybe you don't feel that you're good enough for that, but you are. 100% you are. Even if you're not seeing the results that you want to see, maybe you're frustrated with that, keep going, because it absolutely is doing, even if you only help a handful of people in this life, that's fine. You don't have to do something on some big grand scale. Sometimes we're here to service just a few people, and those few people then go on to raise their families or be a part of their community and create that change. It spreads outwards. It's like a rock in a pond that's ripples spread outwards, and that's the work you're doing. You may not see the effects of it in this lifetime. I feel some of you won't, but know that the work you're doing will 100% be very important as generations come. And you just kind of have to be good with that. And have fun in this life and enjoy yourself, because, it's not all fight. It's play too. See the two cats? The other one's outside chasing bugs. And my other cat, she's just chilling in the living room, That's, life is like that. And you want to live your life to its fullest, and you will. Okay, thank you so much for joining me in your messages from the Barred Owl. Go ahead and check out Vineet from Tarot Yogi, as he will give you the message from the Barn Owl, which will complement this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Follow, subscribe to this channel, because it helps to, support me in my work, and, so I can keep doing what I'm doing. And thank you so much for joining me. Keep up the good fight. I believe in you. Bye now.